What's going on, everybody? This is the Great Lakes sketch artist, better known as RGB, and I recently finished the 8th installment of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, JoJoLion. And in this video, I just want to share my thoughts and opinions on the story. It should go without saying, but this video will discuss major spoilers about JoJoLion, and if you don't want the story ruined for you, I advise you click away now. For those of you still here, I greatly appreciate it. Now let's dive into my review. Now before I give my opinion, I should quickly note what JoJoLion is actually about. When you boil it down to the main plot, JoJoLion is about Josuke, or Gappy as I'm going to call him for the rest of this video, trying to discover his true identity. He is a combination of two different people, Yoshikage Kira from the JoJoLion universe, and another character named Josefumi. He is taken in by the Higashikata household, with Norisuke IV being the father. Within the household, there are several characters of note, including Joshu, Dea, and my personal favorite character from this bunch, Ki. Gappy's stand is called Soft and Wet, which allows him to send out soap bubbles. That's the most basic explanation I can give. We quickly find out that almost every single member of the Higashikata household has their own stand. More on the stands later, we will get back to that. JoJoLion is set in an alternate version of Morio, which is the same city from part 4, although this Morio is slightly different. There's a few callbacks and nods to previous parts, such as the SBR hat shop and one of my personal favorite Easter eggs, when we see a guy drawing Crazy Diamond on the sidewalk with chalk. The enemies for this part are the Rock People, which have been around for hundreds upon hundreds of years. Now that we've gone over the handy exposition, let's get into my actual thoughts and opinions. The story starts off a little slow. The fun fight, which is the first fight we encounter in JoJoLion, is a little on the stale side for me, but it was still fairly enjoyable. After this fight, however, it almost immediately picks up because after that we're introduced to the rest of the Higashikata household. Each character in the household gets their own chance to shine, with my personal favorite arc with these characters being Joshu and Gappy in Shakedown Road. On the opposite end of the spectrum, my least favorite would probably have to be the California King Bed arc. I just was not very entertained by it. Now, this is where my review starts to become a little more negative. After all of the family is introduced and we get their introductions and their stands and everything else, the story completely stagnates. It feels like the same wash, rinse, repeat formula for the next several chapters. As I said before, the villains are the Rock People, and we see quite a few of them get defeated. Now, in JoJoLion, there is a fruit called the Rokakaka fruit. I think I pronounced that correctly. If not, feel free to make fun of me in the comments. And if you eat it, it heals you, but the big twist with it is that it performs an equivalent exchange. So if you have like a messed up hand and you eat it, it will make another part of your body messed up. I'm pretty sure. I could be misunderstanding. It feels like they dwell on this for way too long. They go, we gotta defeat the Rock People, and we gotta get the fruit. Okay, we defeated the other rock guy. Oh crap, there's another one. You know, it feels like it goes on for way too long. Did you like that Stancy recreation? Call me David Productions. And by much later, I mean around chapter 80 to 81, when the Wonder of You arc starts. That's pretty much my main issue with this, is that the pacing is just absolutely, I don't want to say terrible, but it's just far from good, I'll just say that. The ending was bittersweet. I thought Jobin's death was really sad, and chapter 95 probably is the best chapter in JoJoLion. I'm just going to say that right here and now. Everything kind of culminates and climaxes at this point. Look at me using big words. But I think this is when the story got real, because Jobin was hell-bent on getting his way. He felt that he was truly on the right path and everything else, and it got really good around chapter 95. It just really sucks that it got good so late into the story. Now, let's get into my favorite characters of this story. I'm not going to go over every single character because we'd be here all day, but I'll just give basic reviews of each one. So, I liked Gappy. I wasn't vibing with him at first, but, you know, he kind of grew on me as the story progressed. I really liked Norisuke. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Tsurugi, I think that's how you say it. I'm going to pronounce a lot of these names wrong. So funny story, a lot of memes that my friend group likes come from JoJoLion panels, so it was cool to just see all the funny panels that they would send, including this one. So he was okay. Yasuho, I kind of wish she did more, honestly. She just, you know, I mean, she's not a bad character, I just wasn't 100% a big fan of her. Joshu, I don't like Joshu. If you like Joshu, there's something wrong with you. Kidding, of course, but I did not like Joshu very much. I already said it, Ki Nijimura, she's probably my favorite from the household crew. Dea was okay. the mom, forgot her name. The older sister, forgot her name too. And I feel like that was the problem. There were so many characters being introduced all at once, I straight up forgot half their names. Mamizuku, aka the plant appraisal guy, was probably my all-time favorite from this entire story. I thought he was so funny because at one point Yasuho was giving a backstory on something that happened to it. It was the hair clip part. If you know JoJoLion, you know the hair clip. And plant appraisal guy was like, yeah, that's really cool, but I don't really remember asking. He is the dictionary definition of I don't remember asking. That is his character, and it's hilarious. I was super sad when him and Key died because they were like pretty much the only characters I really enjoyed in this part. Alright, it's time for the main meat of our discussion, the stands and the fights. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was not overly blown away by the stands in this part. There were some really good ones. My favorites would probably have to be Born This Way, Speed King, and King Nothing. Those three were really cool, and I like their designs. Also, I noticed there was like a common theme. A lot of stand names had the word king. I'm not kind of like Away King 3 Leaves. That doesn't count. I mean like King Nothing, Speed King, you know, so it felt like they were just California King Bed, Paper Moon King. What was the thought process? I just felt like a lot of the stand names were repetitive. Some of the designs were kind of weak too. I wasn't really a big fan of Vitamin C or Blue Hawaii's design. There were some other ones that I wasn't really a big fan of, and I'm going to do a tier list at the end. I'll just show it on screen and rank them all, but other than that, I just was not overly impressed by the fights. My only problem is that a lot of the fights feel like they end before they start. Like, it'll show the name of the arc, and it'll say part 1, 2, 3, and I go, well, I know how this is going to end. They just feel anticlimactic, and they don't really fight until, like, the final part of said arc. Which, I get it. That's how a lot of JoJo's formatted. It's all about the dialogue and the banter between the two characters, but just, like, get on with it, you know? Now, let's talk about the main villain. Now, the main villain is Toru, and he's not introduced until the Wonder of You arc, and unfortunately, this was spoiled for me, so I already knew he was going to be the main villain, so for the entire time, like, once I got past the halfway point, I was just waiting for him to show up, and I was like, where's Toru? Because the entire time, they were painting Jobin to be the main villain, and then he just comes up out of nowhere. Now, I know the twist is supposed to be that you're not supposed to know it's him, and it's supposed to be this, like, grand reveal that it's actually Toru the whole time, but it just felt so underwhelming. Although, I'm going to be honest, I don't think this would have hindered nor heightened my enjoyment of the story either way. So that pretty much covers my main thoughts on the story itself. If there was one thing I would change, it would definitely just be the pacing and cutting out a lot of that extra dialogue that just felt more like fluff than pushing the story forward. A while back, I said that my favorite to least favorite parts of JoJo in order were parts 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5. But at this point, I can confidently say that I'm going to change it so part 1 is 8th place, part 5 is 7th place, part 8 is 6th place, part 2 is 5th place, part 3 is 4th place, part 4 is 3rd place, part 6 is 2nd place, and my absolute favorite part to this day still continues to be Steel Ball Run. Now for my stand tier list, here we go. In order from worst to best, we got F tier starting with Scott Key number 1 and 2 and Fun Fun Fun. D tier is Paper Moon King, California King Bed, and Vitamin C. C tier is Blue Hawaii, Love Love Deluxe, Brainstorm, I Am a Rock, Ozone Baby, Dr. Wu, and Le Fueles. I believe I pronounced that wrong, my apologies. B tier is Milagro Man, Dubiwa, Walking Heart, Paisley Park, Awaking 3 Leaves, Doggy Style, kill me, I hate that name, Nut King Call. A tier is Soft and Wet, Space Trucking, and Born This Way. S tier is King Nothing, Speed King, and Wonder of You. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my thoughts and opinions on JoJoLion. If you have anything to add, let's talk in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It helps me out, and you get more of me in your feed, so it's a win-win. Until next time, this is RGB signing off.